Even Obama's former DHS secretary blames Dems for shutdown. It's obvious. Everyone knows that the Dems is the reason why the shutdown is happening. Even though Schumer keep coming out and blaming Republicans, and Hakeem Jeffries coming out and blaming Republicans, is just ridiculousness, because we all know that the Democrats are the ones voting against the bill that will continue our government. They know this. The world knows this. Even Obama DHS Secretary Jay Johnson admits this. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There's a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media, and they report that even Barack Obama's former Homeland Security Secretary is blaming Democrats for the government shutdown, a stunning admission that underscores just how disastrous the party's obstruction has become. Jay Johnson, who led the Department of Homeland Security during the Obama administration, appeared on CNN's The Source with Caitlin Collins and openly broke with his party, warning that Democrats are making a mistake by filibustering the CR and shutting down the government. Collins began by playing a clip of a past exchange between her and White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who placed the blame squarely at the feet of Democrats for reduction in force that are being implemented now. Leavitt told her the situation, quote, would not be happening right now if the Democrats did not vote to shut down did not vote to shut the government down. And Collins got a bit of a surprise when Johnson effectively confirmed Leavitt's point. Democrats are the ones prolonging the shutdown and putting workers in jeopardy. Again, it's obvious. But Collins brought Johnson on as her lead guest, touting his experience running the, quote, third largest federal agency. But Johnson immediately undercut the Democrats' preferred narrative and said that he was going to break from the party line and explicitly align himself with independent Senator Angus King and Pennsylvania Democrat Senator John Fetterman, both of whom have publicly urged the party to stop blocking the government's reopening, because they know that this is hurting the party. No one really blames Republicans for this, and they know this. But I've been saying for days now, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are just afraid that they're going to be primaried and eventually lose that primary. So they're curtailing to the far left extremists that's wanting to just be anti-Trump on everything, even if it benefits the American people. So they really have no choice here. But let's check out the clip here. Here we go.
I'm going to break from the party line here on this. I'm a Democrat. I'm with John Fetterman and Angus King. The problem I see here is that, to pass the budget, it needs 60 votes in the Senate. And what is happening each year now, and what I fear is going to happen in the future, is the minority party wants to link that to some other very, very important issue. Affordable health care is critical, obviously. But I fear that this is going to happen every year, every September, October, November. The most basic function of Congress is to fund the government, turn the lights on, keep the government working so that the 3 million people who are public servants are able to do what they do to serve all the rest of us.
So you think that Democrats should vote to reopen the government?
I believe that Congress should vote to reopen the government. There apparently you need 7 Democrats to make that happen in the Senate. I think that the mistake our democracy is making is linking the need for that 60 votes to some other issue, even though it's a very, very critical issue, because what's going to happen is that this will occur every fall from this point forward.
Wow. Colin is like, what? I know she was not expecting that answer, and he's absolutely correct. More Democrats. I can't believe I was about to call Jay Johnson a moderate. Almost said more moderate Democrats. Jay Johnson is far from moderate. I talked about him in the past. Y'all can check out my old my old channel that just got reactivated, Democ Republics, where I actually talked about Jay Johnson a lot back then on my old page that YouTube happened to bring back. But anyway, Jay Johnson is a far leftist, and for him to come out and say this and be a little bit moderate when it comes to this decision and back Fetterman and that other Democrat is very, very surprising. Again, he was Obama's DHS secretary. Before all the talk from Democrats about protecting workers and supporting the middle class, it's their obstructionism that is keeping paychecks from the very federal employees that they say they care about. When even Obama's own DHS secretary is calling them out, you know the narrative is collapsing. Democrats created this shutdown, and even their former top security official can see it. Quote, "I'm worried about the president," Johnson admitted. "Americans should be too, because the longer Democrats keep playing politics, the more damage they'll do to the country they're supposed to serve." And it's absolutely true. So, and again, I'm just as shocked as anyone that Jay Johnson was the one to come out and admit this truth. And it's setting precedent. It's setting a precedent. So now every single year when there's a bill passed and the opposite party disagrees with it, they can try to hold the government hostage until they get what they want. That's not how government is supposed to work. But this is exactly how Democrats is doing it on their end. And it's hypocrisy, because remember, I've talked about this before and played the clips before. Just a few months ago, Schumer was saying sounding like Jay Johnson here. Schumer was like, "No, we can't do this. We can't use this as a bargaining chip. It's not right." But now, because he's being primaried, he's all for it. The Democrats are hypocrites. They really don't care about the people. They only care about pushing their agenda. But let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.